Don't Look Down is what you get when you mix a climbing game such as Climbey with a bullet hell. This game can get intense and is a lot of fun to play, and it also represents the age-old saying of don't judge a book by its cover. What it lacks in visuals, it certainly makes up for it in gameplay. Now let's begin the review by taking a more in-depth look, beginning with objective and gameplay. Don't Look Down features a light narrative that has you chasing down your own invention gone mad, which has created all these robots to try and prevent you from completing your goal. In terms of gameplay, these robots roam in patterns that are easily visible and easy to follow. Most of them have handles you can grab and use them to smash them against the wall or even into another robot to help you get across. There are also a few power-ups you can gather along the way, such as a jetpack, a gun, or armor that'll let you take one more hit. The robots really set this game apart from most other climbing games, as they really add a level of strategy and skill mid-climb that really reminded me of a bullet hell game. Specifically, the later levels get very intense and provide a good challenge for those seeking it. I never felt as if I was getting cheated upon death or that a level was unbeatable. It's fair to say the difficulty curve is really well thought out here. Throughout each level, there's checkpoints spread out, shown by a friendly robot holding its hand out to give you a high five. And seriously, giving this robot a high five has to be one of the most satisfying feedback responses I've felt in VR. It's also important to note that each world comes with its own hazards as well that you have to avoid on top of the robots you're already dealing with. Progression relies on you passing a certain amount of levels before getting to the next, but you can access levels and worlds ahead of you without having to beat every single level before it. Your only movement option outside of the jetpack is climbing, so if you're not a fan of this mechanic, it's fair to say this game won't be for you. However, if you enjoy games like Climbey, this is right up your alley. You are also able to fling yourself short distances here by launching yourself like a slingshot. One important thing I would like to take note of is that it uses a very nice slowdown mechanic when falling or jumping distances, which actually feels really good and helps against motion sickness. Now that you understand more about the gameplay, let's move on to features and content. Don't Look Down features 4 worlds containing 8 levels each. Every world also brings its own hazards into play, such as the lava world, which shoots out molten lava you have to avoid. It offers various graphic options and comfort options as well. There is also a very light narrative, but I wouldn't put too much focus on that or consider it much of a selling point. The game, on the other hand, does feature leaderboards, and if you're the one who likes to compete for top times or speedrun a game, this will have you covered. You can also earn scrap from playing and can use it toward customizing your character or getting mods, which really add more to its replay value. One example of a mod could be removing all the hazards and robots out of your way, and you can progress through each level just as a climbing game. Stages can also contain a secret level you have to find, represented by a pyramid that challenges you to a specific task to achieve in an allocated amount of time. Take note that these stages can be put fairly out of the way and can be a challenge just to get to. Now let's discuss visuals and immersion. I think it's fair to say that Don't Look Down is not the most beautiful game out there in virtual reality, but it works, and frankly speaking, it's a blast to play. From my initial impression of the game's trailer, I was skeptical at first sight. I wasn't sure how it would look in-game, but was pleasantly surprised overall. The visuals work well in-game, and the bright colors are enjoyable and pleasing to the eyes. So long as you're not going in expecting beautiful and detailed environments, you should be fine here. Immersion, on the other hand, is another story. Despite not being realistic visually, the spikes and hazards still made me flinch from time to time, and as the title suggests, the drops do seem far down, so if you're afraid of heights, you'd be smart to listen and not look down. To conclude, Don't Look Down was a joy to play, and as someone who enjoys good climbing mechanics in VR, it doesn't disappoint. The difficulty curve is well thought out, and I never got the impression of a level being impossible to accomplish, which is important in these types of games. My only real complaint would have to be that there is a certain lack of polish in the menu system, such as needing to type in your initials every time at the leaderboard screen, but it's not a deal breaker by any means. There's a good amount of content here to enjoy as well, and while I do think it would be better priced at $19.99, it's still priced fair at $24.99, and I'm sure you'll get your money's worth. One recommendation and thing I would love to see is Steam Workshop support in the future, because I really think this game has a place in VR, and Steam Workshop support would really give this game legs and make it very easy to recommend. As of right now, I would recommend this game to anyone who likes climbey or is just looking for a good solid game to speedrun through. This game is built for that and it's a lot of fun to play. I hope you enjoyed the review and feel free to subscribe if you're wanting more. Below you can see my most recent video and what YouTube thinks you'll like best. Have a great day and always keep on cruising.